Let me ask you a question. You have the ideal person in front of you right now. Everything you want to be success, money, looks. Do you think they get fired up every single day to do what they have to do? Probably not. So, what makes you think that you can do that? If the successful people aren't fired up daily to do what they need to do, what makes you think that you need to be fired up every day to get things done? And motivation is unreliable, it's fleeting, it's an emotion. You feel like it today, you don't feel like it tomorrow. That's not going to be something that is going to get you where you want to go. And that's the truth that nobody tells you because it's the answer that isn't the answer that honestly people are going to listen to. But I'm hoping you're going to listen to this little bit of advice because that's the truth nobody wants to tell you because you can't sell that. And you think disciplined men are going to feel fired up daily, and the answer is no. So, they just don't wait for feelings. So, what do they do instead? Discipline is mechanical, it's a system of things that they have to do, whether they feel like it or not. And the mechanics over emotions will always win long term. So, the reason you skipped your workout this morning isn't exactly because you're lazy. It's part of it, but it's a negotiation you had with yourself. You wake up and ask, do I feel like training today? But that's the problem. That's the wrong question to ask. Instead of making it a question, the correct question is, what's on the schedule? And just that one little switch, just like that, can change your entire outlook. So, if it's lift and you have to lift today, you lift. There's no negotiation. The days of negotiating with yourself when you wake up are over. Because negotiation gives you two options, the one you feel like doing and the one you know you have to do. And most of the time, you're going to pick the one you feel like doing, which is hitting snooze on the alarm and not working out in the morning. So we're going to completely negate that. That is no longer an option for you. So instead of asking, do I feel like training? What's on the schedule? What do I need to get done? And when you remove that emotional input, consistency will rise automatically. And that's going to create an identity switch inside of you, inside your brain that you may not even notice right away. But it'll make sense when I explain this. So stop saying, I'm trying to get disciplined. You're going to say, I am training. I'm disciplined. I'm getting it done. And that subtle shift changes your behavior. Because skipping it feels misaligned. It's not dramatic, but it's just off. And that's the power of identity. And that shift in your identity can change everything for you. So, what happens when your motivation dies? It's probably where a lot of you have been before. That's why you're here. Around week 6 or 7, the excitement fades. It's no longer fun. You're going through the motions, you're just doing it. This is the fork in the road where you have to make another difficult decision. The casual men stop here. Disciplined men will continue because they don't rely on excitement, they rely on the standard that they've built for themselves. So set your standard and defend it daily because motivation fades. And at the end of the day, the identity, the system, and the blueprint that you create for yourself are what's going to allow you to win. There could be two men in the same room. One's mechanical, one's emotional. After 6 months, I would bet my life savings on Mr. Mechanical. Because Mr. Mechanical does what he says and doesn't do what he feels like doing, he will always be the victor. No exceptions, no matter what. I would bet my life savings, all of it. I would bet it on mechanical because he shows up and does what he has to do. And that negotiation that emotional has, most of the time, he's not going to do what needs to be done. Because most of the things that we have to do in life are not things that we want to do, but they're things that we have to do. The things that we don't want to do are the things that we have to do, the uncomfortable things, the boring things. But those are the things that get you where you want to be. You want all the rewards and the accolades and the success, but you don't want to do what it takes to get you there. You want the six-pack. You want the 10% body fat. You want to be Mr. Olympia. You want to be lifting 500-pound deadlifts, but you aren't doing what it takes to get there. You just want the shot that gets you there. The problem with that mindset is thinking like that, even if you did, you got the shot, you got bit by the radioactive spider, you wouldn't change your mindset. And that's the most important thing. The body of work, your physique is one thing. But that's only half of it. Because if your mind is still messed up, and your mind isn't developed like the disciplined man would be, and that's only earned through the gridiron. If you aren't doing that, you're going to be the same amount of respect toward yourself, the same amount of confidence as the little wee skinny you that was there before. You're just going to look better. And if anything, that's going to be more off-putting to people because you look like a man that deserves certain things, and you treat yourself and carry yourself a certain way, but you aren't. That's because you didn't put the work in. So, we'll leave it with this. Set your standard. Rely on that standard. And defend it daily. Because at the end of the day, motivation fades. And your identity remains.